Welcome to another episode of the Fanzone podcast. Your home for all things Bolton Wanderers, up the Trotters, the Northwest's #1 podcast.
Hello, good evening, or as we always say, good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time you might be listening back to us or watching us back. Welcome to episode 102 of the Fanzone preview show, and it's a double header. So tonight we are going to start with Saturday's fixture against Rotherham United, and we are joined by Sam from New York Talk. Hello, Sam. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Very welcome. And obviously, Ben. Hello, Ben. How are you?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good. It's nice for all the teams, well, most of the teams around us to get their stupid games in hands out of the way, won't it? That we've been basically adding 3 points onto everyone around us recently, and Cardiff dropped points, so we'll take that. But yeah, personally, yeah, pretty good. Looking forward to Saturday.
Nice to see the Tash still going strong. Are you sporting that on your next travel? Is it
Yeah, I've got to look the part, haven't I? Yeah.
Decent Tash.
It's not bad at all. So let's have a look.
I'll take that. All I've got is slander so far, Sam.
Welcome to Wanderer 1963. We've got Ian. Ian's always nice and early. Hello, Ian. Welcome. David's in the chat. We've got graphic extraordinaire Jordan. Welcome, Jordan. So I suppose without much further ado, we should crack on with the show. And we'll start with our season so far. Should we start with our guest? Would you like to give us a little run through of how Rotherham's season has been faring up to this point? Or maybe not, Sam, with the edge.
Not really, no. I think if any of your listeners were thinking I'm going to come here and talk positive about Rotherham, then they're going to be disappointed. It's been awful. It's been probably the worst season from what I can remember, from when we went into administration, probably. It's just, we sacked Steve Evans back end of last season thinking this is bad because we were mid-table and we're normally pushing for playoffs or getting promoted, a bit yo-yo team. But then obviously we got Matt Hamshaw in his first managerial job and it's just been dreadful.
I mean, good for us.
You've already beat us last season, haven't you? So
with our terrible record against you, with 60 years that we've not won, have we, at Rotherham? So, yay!
I know. Well, you've already got 2 wins over us this season anyway, so you'll make it 3, I'm sure.
Yeah. Ben, do you want to give us a little update on the Wanderers and how we've been faring? Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, not bad, to be honest. Our run over Christmas, which is when we. Am I here? I'm probably delayed, aren't I? That's my Wi-Fi.
No, you're fine.
Anyway,
you're fine.
I'll talk on. Yeah, we've been on a good run. We're good, right? Okay. Yeah, we've been on a good run. As I said, last time we played Rotherham, it was during our Christmas run where we stumbled a little bit. We only just got over the line against Rotherham, didn't we? In the last minute penalty. But yeah, we've been pretty good since Christmas. I think since we lost at Posh away towards the end of January, we're unbeaten, and it's basically only been the form of the top 2 been ever so slightly just better that has meant we've not crept up on the top 2 up until very recently, where Cardiff have dropped a few points, and our chance of top two has gone from about 0.1% to about 0.5%. So there's still hope, but yeah, it's one of them. As I said, after our Christmas run, it was kind of just right. Let's cement ourselves in the playoffs, and we seem to have done that. Fingers crossed. I think we're about 10 points clear of 7th. So barring a disaster, it'll be playoffs at worst. So yeah, pretty happy. I think I said at the start of the season, playoffs was the aim, but so we'll take it.
You never say never, do you? Because football's a funny old game. We know this. We know crazy things can happen. But I think most of us are just wanting as many points as possible to finish third or fourth, so we get the away tie first in the playoff. But anyway, shall we see what Callum thinks of the match ahead and get a stat on?
Hello everybody, welcome back to Get Stats On with the Statman, and of course today we're going to preview this weekend's game against Rotherham United, which is a 12:30 kickoff away from home. Boo, nobody likes that, do they? But let's get straight into the preview, shall we? Of course, earlier this season, on Boxing Day, in fact, you played Rotherham United at home, and what happened? Well, Josh Sheehan scored at the very end of the first half to put you 1-0 up. And then, nothing happened at all until the 90th minute when Sam Nombe scored a penalty. And it was all doom and gloom. You think, oh no, we've dominated the whole game and we're going to draw again. How many times has this happened? Oh wait! Who came up clutch? Josh Sheehan. Fair play. And he was pretty good that day, was he not? And hopefully, he'll have another similar performance in this game because he's going to need to. Now, on paper, this should be quite an easy game because Rotherham, of course, sit 22nd in League One after 35 games with just 35 points. And they're still 3 points off safety. So that's not very good, is it? So it sounds like quite an easy game. But I don't think it is, because the record that I found, albeit this may not be the most accurate, because I'm looking at it and I'm going, no, that can't be right. And if it is, fair enough. But apparently, and I say apparently because it is apparently, Bolton haven't won away from home against Rotherham since 1966. If that's true, my God, what has happened there? And even if that isn't correct, you haven't won away from home against Rotherham since 2014. So, it's been a while, let's put it that way. So this is quite an important game for both teams, to be fair. So, yes, this could be interesting. Now, Rotherham are having a bit of a poor season, but their home form has been much, much better than their away form. From 18 home games this season, Rotherham have managed 6 wins, 6 draws and 6 defeats, equaling to 24 points. While away from home, in the 17 games that they've played, Rotherham have managed just 3 wins and drawn 2 games, which of course puts them on 11 points away from home. So they're going to be up for this game. They like playing in front of the crowd, and good on them, who doesn't? But this is not going to be an easy game. And if you've not gathered that already, I'll say it one more time. It's not going to be an easy game, all right? Just wait till you win 4-0 now. But how do Rotherham play, Statman? Well, they mix it up a bit sometimes. But to be fair, it seems like they're going to play a 5-3-2 formation because that's what they tend to go with against some of the bigger teams. That is what they played against you at the Tough Sheet earlier this season. So I'd expect that. But, like I say, they do show a bit of a willingness to mix it up a bit. And even when they're playing the 5-3-2, 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it, it can look a little bit different. The positions are very fluid on occasion. Now, we'll come on to how that actually works right now. So, when they're attacking, the 5-3-2, there's obviously not a lot of width in the front line there, is there? Now, the wing-backs will get forward, yes, but they're going to have a lot of ground to cover. So who's going to help them get forward? Well, it's going to be the outside midfielders in that midfield three. And yes, they are still central midfielders, but they'll be covering the half space. And I do mention half space quite a lot, but if you don't know what it is, it's just the area between the wing and the middle. So you have a left half space and the right half space. Simple as that. But let's have a look, shall we? So there's an animation on screen, but we'll describe it for audio listeners. So when they attack on the left-hand side, of course the left wing-back is going to push up, and the left central midfielder is going to go join him. The two strikers are going to get in the box, and the other two central midfielders are going to shift over to more of a central position. Rather than having a 3, it'll look like a 2, so they still cover the middle of the pitch. And the exact same thing happens on the right side. The right central midfielder will go join the right wing-back on the wing, and the other two central midfielders will shuffle over. But, and this is quite an important but, if you will, they're attacking. You're not going to see the attacking shape too much, to be honest, because Rotherham average just 45% possession, which is 20th in League One for most possession. So, what you're going to see more is their defensive shape. And now I can hear you saying, Statman, what does their defensive shape look like? Well, if they're playing this back five, then it's going to be a very tight and compact defensive shape, because all the 5 defenders are going to drop back into a straight line. And then you're going to have another straight line in front of them with the 3 midfielders. And one of the strikers may drop back to sit on one of your defensive midfielders, but to be fair, they could both stay high. Sometimes that mixes up as well. If they're playing the 5-3-2 then, it's going to look like this. So like I say, they all drop back. But one key thing to note is that they don't stay in the middle. So if the ball is on your left-hand side, they all shuffle over to that side. And if it's on the right, they all shuffle over to that. That leaves a lot of space on the other wing. Now, who likes to play on the wing? Let's have a think. Well, Cozy Dewberry, he's not going to be fit, is he? But who else does? Corey Blackett-Taylor. Pretty sure at the end of every game, his boots are completely covered in paint because he just stands on the touchline. Now, whether he's fit enough to start the game or not is a completely different question. But I can guarantee if he gets some minutes in this game, he's going to have a bit of fun. Because what I would advise for Bolton to play is your usual 4-2-3-1 with Sheehan as the right-sided defensive midfielder. When you have the ball on the right wing, give it to Sheehan. And yes, that might be a backwards pass, but you give it to him. He gets his head up and he plays the switch to Corey Blackett-Taylor on the left side. It was going to be an absolutely acres of space. And then he's going to be able to get speed and momentum up, and he's going to run at his fullback, which he always does. And when he's running with speed and momentum, it makes it a lot harder to defend, a lot easier to give away a foul. Now, I have just been cut off because, of course, this is a double preview episode. So there's a lot of stuff on the camera right now. But Blackett-Taylor could have a lot of fun if he's playing. If he's not, it's probably going to be Sissoko or Gale on the left side. And in theory, they could have a similar amount of fun. Probably not as much because they're just not as good for the most part. And they don't like to run out the fullback as much. But if they're in space with time, you've got to do it your winger. That is what you're born to do. So anyway, I'll let you enjoy the rest of the show until I see you in a little bit later for the next one. So goodbye.
I mean, fingers crossed, Shuey's been watching that. And we get some nice balls pinged out from Joshua over to Corey. I hope he's playing. Do we think he'll start, Ben?
I would say so. I think his contribution off the bench on Saturday was obviously huge. Got us back into the game and was, scored that fantastic winning goal. And the only reason he didn't play the week before was because he had an illness, didn't he? So I don't think his fitness. I don't think his fitness is in question. So
he's definitely not got 90 minutes, but that's probably because he busts a gut when he's on there.
Yeah.
So
and I guess we play Tuesday night as well, don't we? So that might be in his
night.
mind, but yeah, I don't know. I would play him, obviously, but yeah.
I mean, I'd play every minute of every game for me, but thanks, Callum. Always a great segment. Shall we do a player swap? So before I'll play the mid-roll and I'll tell you what it's about now. And if you want to play along at home, get your player swaps in the chat. So this is the part of the show where we steal a player from the opposing team. So anyone who you think would bolster your ranks, anyone that you fancy. We'll start with Ben. Go on. Who would you steal from Rotherham?
Yeah, no offense, Sam, but it's been pretty tough. This.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, to be honest.
I think when we had Rotherham on the preview, I think I went for Sam Nombe, and he obviously scored in that game, didn't he? And I remember watching that game, and he was your biggest attacking threat by a mile. I think he only played the last 20 minutes. But yeah, obviously scored the equaliser and had another really good chance just before we scored our winner, if I remember correctly. And then he scored the week after against Stockport, again off the bench. But since then he's been a bit off the boil. But I mean, he was linked around as well. He linked with us around January, and yeah, I don't think that never really materialised. Obviously, we went for Johnny Kenny instead. But I'm trying to think. To be honest, apart from him, Joe Powell's always kind of stood out to me as like good creative player. But yeah, to be honest, it's pretty slim pickings, to be honest. But I would go for Sam Nombe, even though our strikers have been good form recently. Sam Dolby has been excellent the last couple of months, and Burstow's back in the goals off the bench. If I had to steal anyone, I would just go for Sam Nombe, probably the obvious one.
Yeah, definitely the most obvious one out, I think, out of the bunch. And probably one that I think every fan in every other team would maybe go for if they had a choice. That's about it.
Yeah. You can guarantee he'd stay fit. Yeah.
So on that note, Sam, who do you want from Bolton?
Oh, do you know what? I've not clued up much on your players. The ones that stood out for me, I can't remember. Is it Gale who's the winger?
Yeah.
We need wingers. So we've only got one winger in the squad at all times. So we just need another one at least. So yeah,
there is a chance it could be Kosi. Was it your left or your right wing? But
remember, saying that, you've got 2-2 in your squad, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh, of course, yeah.
Taking him back because he got the goal in the final of the Papa Johns. So I'm bringing him back.
A bit of a sentimental reason.
Yeah. I think he did.
Yeah,
I think he did. Scored winning goal. Yep, take him back.
I don't think anyone's played. Is nobody playing along in the chat?
No one wants any of our players. That's why.
No, I mean, it's
yeah, you said it, not me.
That's why I'm not playing, to be honest. So shall we move on? We'll do a little injury update. Let's see where we're at. Okay. Sam, do you want to go first? What's your injury stitch?
Most of our squad, I think, to be honest, like all the season. It's been a bit of a weird one because the Matt Hampshire signed some injury-prone players. But what seems to be an issue is the fitness coach has been getting some slack off our fans. It is some stick because the amount of injuries. Each player, I think, has been injured at least twice this season. And we're talking not like a match. We're talking like months at a time. So I think what's affected most at the minute is our midfield. I think we've got Williams injured. Dan Gore's a doubt, who's probably our best player. He's on loan from Manchester United. He's a doubt.
Yeah.
Josh Benson's a doubt, who's also creative. Joe Powell is only just coming back from injury, so I don't know if he'll play a full 90 minutes. He might just get subbed on. Kean Spence is injured. So I think we are left with risking Josh Benson and Liam Kelly, who's about 36 years old, who we got from Coventry. That's about a lot, to be honest, in midfield. So that's our worst one. It started off with our defence. Most of our defence are back now, I think. And then with John Hughes injured up front and Josh Coyote, but he's always injured anyway. So, yeah. But we don't play with wingers, but one of our wingers are injured as well. So just add that on there.
Would it have been easier to ask who has not had
who's fit? Yeah. Probably about 5 players.
Oh, bloody hell. Ben, I think we've just got, is it just 3 that we've carried at the minute?
Yeah, I mean, we've not had an update since Saturday, but I mean, fingers crossed, nothing has come back from Saturday. No one went off injured or anything, so I think we're all good. But yeah, obviously, Cozy Dewberry. We've had positive news about him though. The last couple of weeks that he's back on the grass, back in. I think he was training on his own, wasn't he? Shuey said he ran for the first time again last week in training, which is good news, and he will play before the end of the season, which is massive if we get in the playoffs. And then yeah, Marcus Forss is the same. I think he's going to be out for the season, which feels like it's kind of not come out of nowhere, that, but it felt like it never seemed that bad at first. And as we've heard more and more about it, he's I'm not sure we're going to see him again in a Bolt shirt, of course, because he's on loan. And then John McAtee, who was having a really good run, end of January, start of February, picks up that hamstring injury that is going to keep him out for a couple more weeks. But yeah, he's going to be back soonish. In fact, he said.
He did say, I think he wouldn't be back for Wickham, but I'm sure.
Yeah, he only ruled out the Wickham game, didn't he? So maybe he might be back for this weekend, but
especially with it being a Saturday Tuesday, you never know. We might see him.
Yeah, we might do. But to be honest, we've done okay without him. Rodriguez has stepped up, hasn't he? Dolby and Kenny have been good up front together. So yeah, I won't be too upset if he's not there on Saturday. Just to go off on a little tangent. Obviously, you mentioned him before about Matt Hampshire, Sam.
Yeah.
Dare I ask, what is the feel around Hampshire? Is the obviously because he came from played for the club and he did an okay job last year and then last season kind of settled things, didn't he? I think. And is there any room for like sentiment or saying fair play for sticking with the same guy and giving him a chance, or is it kind of just why the hell is he still there? We're going to go down.
Yeah, see, on my podcast, on the podcast I'm on, we've had a lot of stick off our fans for backing Hampshire more than we should have. A lot of fans were calling for him at the start of the season. People didn't want him to start with. But I can't think of many fans who want him here now. And I don't know how he is in the job, because any other look at your former boss at Blackpool.
No, because Ben McQuaid was happy clapping till the end, weren't you, Ben?
Yeah, I was getting some stick as well, Sam. Don't worry.
So yeah, I don't know how he's still here, because every other manager would have gone by now. All I can think is it's a financial aspect because of how many managers we've gone through in the past 3 seasons. Because we got rid of Paul Warne, left to Derby, and then we sacked Matt Taylor, sacked Liam Richardson, sacked Steve Evans. So if you're paying them off, I don't know still. So you would have thought they've all gone into another job, so we might be all right. But there's something happening.
I feel like in most of the clubs we would have gone by now. But I feel like with Rotherham, I feel like a lot of times it's been, correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times it's been, right, well, if he loses this, he's gone, and then he gets a result. So he kind of wins 1 out of 5. It kind of just, it's never like terrible enough, too many games in a row to be like, right, he's got to go now, because he always seems to pick up a result at some point. And then I look at the table like, hang on, well, you're still second bottom, or you're still 22nd, wherever you are. So is it worth it?
Well, this is it. We had Cardiff. We lost to Cardiff, and they were down to 10 men. If he gets Cardiff, he's got a bit of a leeway with that one. And then we had Doncaster and Burton, which were down there at the time. Lost both of them. He's got to go now. Didn't go. We lost to Bradford, and then we beat Plymouth, of all teams, after they just smashed Cardiff. And I think that's just kept him in a job. So I don't know. If we keep him, I'm concerned about next season, because I think we're gonna go down. It's what happens to us next season, which is my worry, because it's not a guarantee to come straight back up again, and we could be just stranded there.
No, it's definitely not.
No, it's definitely not. All right. So let's move on now, and obviously we want you all to play along with this segment in the chat. It's What's the Score? So this is the bit I didn't play the player swap either this week, but I don't play this game because I don't make predictions. But You can both have a go. We'll run through the chat shortly, but what are you saying, Sam? What's your prediction for Saturday?
I don't like going against my team, but I think it might be a 2-0 win for you. Pains me to say it, but I think it will be. Maybe more.
Feck it. I'll run with it. Ben?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm gonna agree. I think we need to win, don't we, to carry on pushing for top 2 if it's still possible. We just need to carry on winning. Hopefully, Cardiff slip up again, like they have done recently, and I think we will. I mean, we've not won there for 60 years or whatever. I think I've been 4 times.
You've got to break that at some point, haven't you? You've got to.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And I'm not going, so yeah, hopefully we're all right.
I am. We'll have a quick run through the chat, and we've got Ian who goes Rotherham 1, Bolton 2. David's gone with 1-1. Josh has gone with Rotherham 1, Bolton 2. Do you know what we should have done? What minute do you think Bolton will score the first goal? will it be
93?
Oh yeah, like last time.
Honestly, God, we just
pretty much every game.
Yeah, you know this stat. We literally have scored what minutes?
We've scored 12 goals in the 90+ minutes this season, and 22. That's 22% of our goals. So basically, 1 in 4 of our goals have been in injury time. So yeah.
Well, that works in your favour because we come out flying for the first 15 minutes. After the first 15 minutes, if you ride out that storm, you're golden. You're all right.
What else have we got? Jordan's going with up the late winner Whites with a 1-0 to Bolton. Someone feeling very positive. David Jones, who's gone with Bolton winning 3-1. Josh has also gone with goal scorers. Derby for both. Leslie, you and I are on the same page. No predictions from Leslie. So anyway, yeah, I think we've got quite a positive feel in the chat. A couple of 1-1s, but most of us think that Bolton will finally break the 60-year drought over in Rotherham and actually win.
Who have you got next? Doncaster?
We've got Doncaster next. Chelsea.
You can do us a favour and beat them, at least.
We need to. So it's Rotherham Doncaster? Is that we've got so many Yorkshire teams in this league. I forget who's like rivals with who.
Yeah, I think Doncaster hate us the most because they've got nothing else around them. I think
should we get Shell in now and see what he thinks?
Yeah. Rotherham fans hate Shep Wednesday the most, I would probably say.
Here he is. Hiya, Chal.
How we doing? You all right? How we doing?
Yeah, good. Good.
Would you consider yourselves a hater of Rotherham United?
I think Rotherham's probably our biggest rival in this league. I think partly because the fact that the likes of Leeds are miles better than us.
Yeah.
Obviously, Sheffield United and Sheff Wednesday. I mean, Sheff Wednesday might be near us next season if we stay up. Sheffield United are going to be staying in Championship now after they turned it around. Barnsley will be there next season. So you probably go Sheff Wednesday or Rotherham, but I'd say Rotherham in recent times, definitely.
I think if you ask any Yorkshire team, Wednesday is definitely the one to hate out of all of them. Yeah. Rotherham and Sheffield United have got like a bit of a bromance going on.
You both hate Wednesday.
Everyone forgets about Barnsley for some reason. I don't think anyone dislikes Barnsley. They're just there.
We're gutted they're not in the playoffs with us this year, to be fair.
Well,
yeah, we play Barnsley about 5 times a season. Yeah.
They've got about 20 games in hand, haven't they? They could still
mathematically, they could still be up there, yeah.
I don't think they will be. I think they've been far too inconsistent this year. I think they'll just miss out. They'll need to sign a few big players next in the summer to get anywhere close to top 6.
Well, they want their owners out as well, don't they? Barnsley fans.
Yeah.
Well,
that's the thing. They keep selling the best players and not replacing them, really, don't they? So. Yeah, I can't imagine.
Bring me Jack Shepherd in the summer.
Well, just want to thank Sam for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.
Actually, I never know which way to point. Just thank you to our sponsors, B2B Workwear. Is it that way or that way? I don't know. It's always flips the camera. You can get all your work-related articles of clothing. They're also a club sponsor, so we're in good company. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Sam. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. I better jump on mine now. I've been getting messages.
We hope you lose on Saturday, but go and have fun.
See you later.
Big up, man.
See you later, mate.
Right, Benji, flick it back to a 3.
There we go. Oh, that's 2.
I've been split in half. There we go.
So
I'm a magician. I was split in half.
So obviously now we move on to our Tuesday home match against the Doncaster Rovers, and we are joined by Aaron Challoner, who you prefer Chal, don't you?
I don't mind.
Known as Chal on Twitter. If you don't follow him or X, have a look at what he does. Welcome once again. We've had you on before, haven't we, Chal? So welcome to the show.
Yeah, great to be back. Loved it the first time round. Good to be back for the reverse fixture. And yeah, but I think at the minute I'm kind of on the beach with Rovers. I think I'm on the beach this season now.
Okay. Well, without much further ado, let's have a listen to the season so far. So we've pretty much done that. We've done our run through. Would you like us to recap you, Chal, on where we're up to?
Go for it, just to give me a bit of a bigger picture as well. Allow me to rethink things.
Go on, Ben. Do you think?
Yeah. So another team we played during our Christmas run that looked very good on paper and was terrible afterwards. Probably, to be honest, Doncaster away was one of the games this season the most where I thought we deserved to lose, and we were somehow kind of at the point where we were absolutely terrible, and yeah, Rovers should have been 2 or 3 up before we even had a shot, to be honest. But anyway, I digress. Yeah, since then, since a rubbish end of January, end of December, and start of January, we've been unbeaten since we lost at Posh, and have, as I said before, it's only really been Cardiff and Lincoln's great form that has meant we've not really closed down the top 2 much more than we have done, much more than we would have wanted to, really, with our recent run. I think it's 8 wins and 4 draws in our past 12 games. So yeah, any other time of the season we would have shot back up into the top 2 probably. But yeah, they've been relentless up there up until the last couple of weeks. Cardiff have lost a couple of games, as Sam mentioned before, when they got battered by Plymouth, and then obviously they lost on Saturday to Lincoln and drew on Tuesday night, so maybe the start a bit of a blip. We can only hope, but yeah, we're still 9 points behind them. So we need them to win, them to lose 2 more games, and we've got to go and win there, haven't we? That's the big one, isn't it? Yeah. We're clutching at straws, aren't we? But at least we are, some straws we can clutch at.
We're certainly not on the beach.
Yeah, we're almost on the beach. Almost on the beach, because I think if we lose any more ground on the top 2, and we're pretty solid in the top 6, so it feels like we feel a bit like Sunderland last year. I feel like in the Championship, where we kind of know now that best we're going to get is playoffs, unless something, a miracle happens. So yeah, that's where we are.
So that's us, Chal. Over to you.
It's been an interesting one for us since we played you. I'm just getting my schedule up, so I managed to keep a record of the results that we were getting. So since we played you around that Christmas period, let's have a look. Let's find you at New Year's Day. So of course we had the FA Cup against Southampton. Obviously, first half was pathetic. Second half much better, but we just fell short of the mark. Obviously, in the last kind of couple of months, we've had 7 wins, but we've also had 5 defeats and a couple of draws in there as well, including Luton on Tuesday night. So again, it's been mixed. I mean, before the 4 without a win, we've gone 4 without a win now currently. Before that, we were 3 wins in a row. Before that, it was a win and a loss, or a loss-win-loss. So it's been inconsistent at times. We can win 3 and then we can lose 3 or go without 4 wins. From a club perspective, the mood's been kind of mixed. There are some fans in our fan base that are either McCann or verging on McCann. I'm not going to sit here and deny that and paint everything like a pretty picture. There are fans in our fan base that are manager out or on the verge of being manager out, because I think their perspective from what I'm seeing is you've won a league title, but you've not built on that, and there's been selection issues where they've not complained about it, but questioned it. They've questioned substitutions at the right time. They've questioned certain ways we set up. If a player's been man-marked week in, week out, they are concerned about, do we have a backup plan? Is someone taking over that workload? If someone's been man-marked out of a game week in, week out, there's questions aplenty. There's fans like myself that still trust the manager, and we still trust he's the man to take us forward. After that semi-final against Stockport in the trophy, my mentality sort of went on the beach, because I felt that trophy was our last gasp at some kind of success this season. For me, just from my mentality and what I grew up wanting to do with this football club, or what I grew up wanting this club to be, my mentality is of staying up for me isn't success. Staying up is the bare minimum we expect, because that's where we need to go if we want to push forward year on year and try and progress and be ambitious year on year. So for me now, it's just the bare minimum this season. Whether it's I'm of the opinion of, if we get relegated, the manager could walk away. If we stay up, we build on it. So for me now, it's just the bare minimum, because I think we threw away a semi-final by putting a second string team out, and we kind of give it half-assed effort. So I think for me now, it's the bare minimum this season. I think we are not consistently bad enough to go down. I think there's worse sides than us. So I think we will stay up this season, but we need a proper goal scorer. We need loads of other players. We need so much this summer, with some of them going anyway. And it's going to be one of them rebuilding jobs. I think we kind of gave a lot of sentimental and a lot of trust to some of the players that won us the League Two title last season. So we're now starting to realise by the end of this campaign that there's players there that aren't good enough to play League One football consistently week in, week out. So
it's a hard balance to strike, isn't it, then? Because obviously
it is a hard balance.
It's a team that's done you so well previous years. It's hard to know, where the cut-off point is of, where they can take you to.
It is a hard balance, but I think now as a fan base collectively, and I think the manager realised this as well, we need to sort of sit there in a meeting this summer and go, right, we've trusted these players. Some of them haven't proven themselves. We now need to go, right, let's be ruthless. I think we've got 13 players out of contract. Me personally, and quite a lot of other people have only said 2-3 players out of that 13 get a new deal or an option. And the rest of them go. And I think most of the ones that the fans are wanting to go have got options anyway. They're saying, no, don't take up those options. So we could see 10, 11 players walk out the door this summer, which I think is the right way to go about it. I know we don't want a rebuild, but I think in this case, we do need a rebuild, because we need a rebuild of League One quality at a minimum to at least compete in this division, because League One isn't what it was 5 years ago. So it's pretty much a rebuild for us this summer for me. I think Senior in Clifton and maybe Orham for a year for his development, and the rest I think can go and get regular game time elsewhere.
Oh, Chal is a taskmaster. But sometimes, like you say, we got rid of a load of our old faithfuls, didn't we, I suppose, in the summer, and you've got to do it. You've got to cut your cloth accordingly, and you need some experience, some League One experience,
And this is the thing, right? It's nothing personal against them at all, because personally, every single player that's walked through this door since McCann's come back have been gentlemen. They've been ambassadors. They've been fans' favourites. They've been brilliant with the fans. and they've just been brilliant people to get to know over the season. So this ain't a personal thing. It's purely professional. McCann's going to sit some of them in a meeting and go, this ain't personal, this is professional. We don't think you're going to get the game time next season in League One because we think there is someone ahead of you or 2 players ahead of you. And I'll take a couple of players, for example, James Maxwell, Jordan Gibson, 2 players that were crucial for that League Two title. But Maxwell, I feel for him because he's had his injury problems. He's been hampered. And I think Jack Senior's had a much better season overall. So with Maxwell, it's one of them where it's like, you've been great for us. You've delivered. You are a League Two title winner and no one will take that away from you. We don't think you're going to get ahead of Senior, and we might be looking at signing a new left back because I think McCann will look at a new left back this summer of League One quality minimum again. So I think he'll say to someone like James, look, I think you need to go elsewhere, go and get some game time. I've said to people for weeks now, I think Barrow would be a good club for James Maxwell because it's near Scotland, it's in the Cumbria region. I think with them starting over with a new manager and trying to get them back up the top half of League Two, I think he'd be perfect for them. Jordan Gibson, very frustrating player because he's our Theo Walcott. He can have one great game and 3 bad ones, and then a couple of good games and then a few bad ones. He's an inconsistent he's the definition of inconsistency. If he had more consistently great performances week in, week out, he'd be a much more valuable player and he'd start probably week in, week out. The problem is there's been inconsistencies within his performances. And again, do we need that inconsistency trailing behind us in another League One season when we need to be looking further up the table? I don't think so. So again, it comes back to ruthlessness. Yeah. Great lad professionally. I spoke to him on numerous occasions, and I've continued to speak to him on numerous occasions. Get along with him really, really well off camera as a personal person in my life, but as a professional footballer, I'm looking at that and going, right, Middleton's had better performances at the moment. Molyneux on the other side. We'll probably look at another winger or 2. I think Gibson's going to get let go in the summer, and I think he'll go back down to League Two or a side that's just come up from League Two to play some more football. So someone like a Bromley, someone like a Swindon would be good, or someone in that League Two bracket, someone who's kind of around that top 6 battle next season. So it's one of them where, again, you have to strike the balance of being ruthless, but also being professional about your ruthlessness. You can't just say, right, you're this, you're that, you're SHITE, get out. It's got to be right. Personally, great to work with. Professionally, you're not going to get the game time next season. So I would rather you go and get your game time elsewhere more frequently because it allows you to be a better football player and allows you to progress into a better football player at this stage in your career. Yeah, that's absolutely how we need to be acting this summer.
And ultimately, it is a results business, and there is not a lot of room for sentiment in football. Let's see what the stat man thinks of you. Let's have a look at Callum.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Guess That or No with the Statman, and today we're of course going to preview the game against Doncaster Rovers on Tuesday night. Now of course, this is before your game this weekend, which we have just previewed. And Doncaster also have a game they are playing against Blackpool at home this weekend, but on Tuesday night they will make the trip to the Tough Sheet, which is sure to be quite an interesting game, as we'll come on to in just a little second. But all the stats are of course taken before that game. It's self-explanatory, but I have to say it. Anyway, Doncaster are 18th in League One after finishing first in League Two last season. And who did they have in goal? They had Teddy Sharman low. Now, of course, he's not playing for Bolton anymore, but still, that is quite interesting. There's actually a little bit in this that Mr. Sharman would have quite liked, but that is by the by. Anyway, this season has been a bit of a struggle for Doncaster, as I say, but their results against yourselves earlier this season may give them a little bit of confidence, because on New Year's Day, Bolton made the trip down to Doncaster Rovers when Doncaster were actually on a 5-game losing run, having shipped over 4 goals in 3 games of those 5. But what was the score? It was 1-1. You drew 1-1 despite an equaliser from Kyle Dempsey. So I have to say they'll be quite up for this game. They'll be wanting to win after the draw. They will definitely be after a win. And they're not exactly in brilliant form, but they're definitely in better form than they were then. So they will be up for this game. But how do they play? I can hear you asking. Well, it seems to be usually a 4-1-4-1 formation. And I say a 4-1-4-1 because the defensive midfielder, or the number 6, the number 4, whatever you want to call them, the deepest person in midfield sits very far deeper than the other two central midfielders, who both get quite a bit further forward. It can also look like a bit of a 4-3-3, but again, it sort of depends just how you want to say it. Basically, there's 3 midfielders, and there's a front 3, and there's a back 4. Sorted. They have also occasionally played a 3-4-2-1 or 5-4-1, 5-2-2-1, whatever you want to call it. But most of the time, it is a 4-1-4-1. So I'd expect that. And if they do play the 4-1-4-1, they could actually go man for man against you across pretty much the entire pitch, apart from their striker against your 2 centre-backs, which could be quite interesting because, I mean, most teams, they don't tend to go man for man across the entire pitch. I'm thinking, if you think about Bielsa's Leeds United team, they were incredibly man for man. Everyone just followed their marker the whole game. Positions didn't matter. You just follow your man. And it probably won't be that extreme, but it could happen, and it could easily happen. But in practice, there's a little bit of a weakness to that. So let's have a look. So this is how we would set up. If the goalkeeper plays at your left centre-back, who could be Johnston, could be Toll, could be Farino, don't worry about the numbers, it's just the players, right? If he plays to the left centre-back, the striker will have to move over, and that would either force the ball backwards or require a bit of a long ball, right? How do you get around that? Because obviously you do quite like to play out from the back most of the time. Well, one option, and the most used option by the best managers in the world really, is that one of the holding midfielders, so that would be Sheehan or Rahon, Simons, whoever's playing, would drop in between the gap between your 2 central defenders. And this would mean one of their midfielders has got to follow him. Because if they don't, you've got a free pass and it's easy. And the midfielder is a lot more comfortable at carrying the ball through the lines than the centre-backs. So one midfielder is going to follow him. And what is that going to leave? A bunch of space in the middle. Now, it could be the winger who goes into that space, but then the full-back can just follow him. So what's the best way to do it? Well, your right-back, who isn't being marked by anybody right now, you may see, because their winger would move inside to make sure you couldn't just play it to the other centre-back. So your right-back can push up into midfield and be completely unmarked. Now, it isn't the easiest pass in the world for the goalkeeper, I'll be fair. Sharman Lowe, as I said before, would have loved that pass. He was very good at playing those sort of passes, clipped into the wide area. And again, say the pass is brilliant. There's a lot of ifs in this. But this is it. If it works perfectly. It's not going to work perfectly every time. But say it does, right? Just for the sake of it. Then the fullback is going to be in midfield with a lot of space. Can that be allowed to happen? No, it can't. So either their defensive midfielder or their centre-back has got to push on. If the defensive midfielder goes, you leave your number 10 wide open in zone 14, which is just the central area outside the penalty area. And do you want to do that? No, you don't. You don't really want to push your centre-back up either. But Doncaster actually have the second worst defensive the second worst defensive record in League One this season. So their centre-back is probably going to be quite aggressive and go for that ball. Now, if he doesn't get there in time, there's going to be a lot of space for Mr. Sam Dolby to run in behind and probably score a goal. If he's playing up front, he might not be playing up front, of course. But I think you can see what I'm trying to say. If they go man for man, there's going to be opportunities for you to capitalise on that. Now, it's not a complete certainty that they will go with that, to be fair. But what is quite likely is that you're going to face a different goalkeeper than last time around, because Xander Clark was brought in the January transfer window, and he's only played 6 games for Doncaster, which will of course be 7, probably be 7 by the time you play him. And he's conceded 7 goals, which is not too bad. 7 goals from 20 shots is not too bad at all. But 3 of them have come from outside the box, so that's not brilliant. So I would say test the goalkeeper. Also, just an interesting one. It could be worth aiming for the right side of the goal, because 5 of those 7 have come on the right side, which of course be his left, but you get the point. Have a go. Why not? And just quickly then, to round off the Statman segment, as for Doncaster's biggest threats, it seems to be Owen Bailey. He seems to be pretty blooming good as one of those midfielders who will get forward. So he's classed as an attacking midfielder. And he scored 11 goals and got 3 assists from midfield this season. So that is pretty good, especially for a team 18th in League One. That will not surprise you. That is the most of any attacking midfielder in the league. But what else he has the most of is the most successful passes of any attacking midfielder with 851. And he's played the most accurate long balls with 67. And he's won the most duels with 250. And he's had the most touches with 250 as well. So he's pretty good, isn't he? To sum it up, he's all right at football. So he's a big danger, and how you deal with him is going to be quite interesting because he tends to play on the left of the midfield three. So that would likely be Sheehan's or Arahon's job. And are either of them the best at dealing with an incredibly attacking threat? Well, that is for you to decide, not me. Maybe Simons comes back in for that game. Who knows? Either way, it's sure to be quite an interesting tactical battle, and I will definitely be watching this one as it will be quite interesting. But I'm sure the rest of the episode will be as well. So I'm going to leave it there, and I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.
Whilst the Statman was on, something occurred. Shall I play it?
Go on then.
Super chat. Thank you, Josh.
Woo woo.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bless David in the chat as well, by the way. He said I was an educated supporter. Bless up.
You are a very educated
There we
supporter, Charles. It's always a pleasure. We'll move on to the next segment, which I need to scroll up. Just give me 1 second. It's player swap. Are you ready for it?
Yep.
Go on. We'll have you. The guest can go first. Who you having from Bolton, Chal?
Oh, you know what? I think I said for the New Year's Day game, it'd be Koji Dubry. I'm going to go with someone different, someone who I think would add a bit of energy into that midfield. We've already got the likes of Gotts, who's got a bit of energy about him playing from deep. I think an energetic partner next to him to increase it would be really good. Someone who can also do some good link-up play. So I'm going to go with someone that I wanted before he even joined Lincoln years back. I'm going to go with Ethan Arayan. I think that he is just someone who is shining. I think he's one of the most underrated players in the entire football league. I think he does an incredible job. And I think he's someone who I would want in my midfield as part of that 4-1-4-1 or as the box-to-box partner of a deep, energetic Robbie Gotts in a 4-2-3-1.
He's certainly starting to show us what he was. All the fuss was about at Lincoln. He's starting to settle in really well now in our midfield.
Yeah.
Ben, who are you having from Adoni?
Yeah, well, it's one of two. I think it's pretty obvious, to be honest. Number one is Owen Bailey, who Carl talked about, who I think is probably the epitome of what you want as a captain in the EFL. He's a hard-working midfielder, as Carl said. He wins loads of duels, and he's got 11 goals this season. I think most of them have been like winning goals as well, haven't they? I remember the start of the season, it felt like every time Donny won, it was Owen Bailey popping up with a goal. He was basically like the sole reason he had a great start at the start of the season. Owen Bailey, cracking player. But I think we're right in midfield. And obviously, Cozy Dubry's injury at the minute opens up a slot on the right-hand side where Rabapta hasn't hit the ground running, I would say. Luke Molyneux's the other obvious one, and that's who I'm going to take, unfortunately for you, Chal. He's been great. Obviously, he was player of the season last season in League Two. And it would have been interesting to see how he stepped up, and he's done pretty well. I think he's he's second or third for assists. I think he's right up there, isn't he? He's got 7 or 8 assists, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think he's got eight goals, 7 assists for us. In terms of the overall league player stats for assists, he is 8th on
he's 8th.
on 7.
Oh, right,
okay. And for goals, he's behind Owen Bailey, that's for certain. Yeah, he's like 34th, but he's like joint with the likes of Rob Street and Shade. Tyree Shade's someone I want this summer. Burton fans, sorry, not sorry. And Hackett and Jimmy J Morgan, for example. So yeah, he's kind of tight with a lot of people.
Yeah, in good competition there. But yeah, I think he stepped up pretty well. I liked what I saw from him when we played you on New Year's Day. I actually thought Middleton had a really good game as well. He got the equaliser as well, didn't he? He probably could have got happy that day. But yeah, Molyneux was good, and he would slot in on our right hand side while Cozy Dewberry is sidelined. So that's what I'm going to take.
That's fair enough. I will be honest with Bailey and Molyneux and say that the past couple of weeks they've kind of been a bit off the boil. But from Molyneux's perspective, it's not exactly his fault. He is trying and he is making himself available and trying to press into space and things like that. But there's been points during games in the past few weeks where he has been man-marked, whether that be doubled, one-on-one, triple man-marked. I know Elliot Lee was definitely triple man-marked in the last game on Tuesday night. But he's kind of been man-marked out of games on every now and then, which kind of makes him less of a threat, and it forces other people to kind of try and step up. Bailey, I think past couple of weeks he's kind of been a bit off the boil in terms of overall performance. But again, the effort level's never been questioned. It's just that been a bit off the boil past couple of weeks. But if there's any game to come back into it, it'd be a 6-pointer on Saturday, and obviously you guys on Tuesday.
So I forgot what I'm doing. Injury update. Following now, Charles. I was in my own little world. I do apologise. Yeah, we're going to do an injury update. A total senior moment. You got to forgive me, it's my age. So basically, we've only got 3 out, Jal. We've got a couple of long-termers. We think McAtee might be back in contention this weekend. He's been out for a couple of weeks, but obviously Cozy Dewberry is still a little bit away from coming back. And Marcus Force, we don't think we'll see again this season. And that's pretty much us. So what have you got on the physio bench?
We only have a couple. We only have a couple of players, and they're not regular starters either. Tom Nixon's our most recent one. He's our backup right back to Jamie Sterry at the moment. He is out for a few weeks with the hamstring injury that he suffered. I think it was either the start of this week or last week. So he's out for expected 4 to 5 weeks on hamstring injury. And Sean Graham's been out for the past kind of few weeks anyway with a long-term injury. And obviously he's a centre back, but again, he doesn't start week in, week out. He's one of the group of young players that's been brought in January to one day be a long-term starter. I think him and Darren Robinson are kind of the two that's kind of progressing this side. So I think that Graham's been let off a little bit. I think he develops this season and see what happens in the preseason in the summer. But I think, two players that aren't going to start week in, week out at the moment. I think Nixon's had better performances in recent weeks than Sterry at times, but I think that, again, I think Sterry at the minute kind of starts regardless. So I think it is a case of 2 players that are not going to make the bench, really. And I think it'll be just a couple of slots that get filled in on the bench by a couple of our kind of other backup players, because we've got a strong enough squad at the minute. So, fair play to our medical team. You know, they've kept our medical bill. Our medical bill overall this season's been pretty low. It's at max, it's been a couple of players, if not 1 or 0. And in fact, I think it was only a few weeks ago where we had 5 players that were a massive doubt or some kind of doubt for a game at the start of a week. And then by the end of the week, when the game's the next day, pretty much all but 1 have been available to play and they're all 100% fit.
You got some sort of voodoo master in there or what?
Yeah, Dave Rennie's the master. He's I've got to give credit to Dave Rennie publicly and his staff. Dave Rennie especially, because when we brought him in, he just kind of turned our injury situation around from where we were years back. Obviously, ex-Bristol City, ex-non-league medical professional, Leicester City during the title season, the Premier League, so he knew exactly what he was doing. So, yeah, Dave Rennie's been the kind of sole instigator, along with the staff that he's brought in and the team that he's working with, to bring that injury bill down as quickly and as safely as possible as well.
We're just going to take a moment to welcome our favourite imp into the chat. Jake is once again in the chat because he's secretly a Bolton fan. Welcome, Jake. Hope you're well.
And he's in the chat because he won again. I'm sure he wouldn't be.
He won again. He's going to carry this.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's always a pleasure to have fans from other clubs watching along, regardless of the fact you're above us. Anyway, as always, we end the show on what's the score. So get your predictions ready in the chat whilst the mid-roll players. We'll start with Josh's because he's got to shoot off and he gave us a super chat. So he is Bolton 2, Doncaster 1. And as always, great podcast and great guests. Agreed. Brilliant guest this evening.
Lovely. Here's Josh.
Let's go with, boo, not Jake. He's like a bad smell, Leslie. So we'll start with you, Chal. What you predicting for Tuesday night? Are you coming up?
I'm not there, unfortunately. I've got a load of trips coming up, so I'm out and about for the next few weeks, up and down country at minute. So it's kind of a bit of a wishy-washy time for away games. It remain the kind of home games for me, but I'll be watching. I think I'll have some time spare, so I'll be watching for sure.
So what do you reckon? What do you reckon? Score prediction?
It's tough for me because we've got a striker. Thing is, we've made defensive mistakes. We've got a defence that can be susceptible if we don't play in the right way. I think our centre-back pairing on Tuesday night for me should be the one that's earned the right to start, Pearson and Byrne. And by the way, Neil Byrne, our fans wrote him off. Some of our fans, not all of them, but some of them did write him off before a ball was kicked. He's been one of our best signings of the entire season. And Bradford fans
do that. Don't we do that as a breed? Fan?
Oh, yeah. It's our favourite thing to do, isn't it?
It's the best reaction a player can provide to a fan base. And again, to be fair, the signs were there for the worry. I'm not saying I agree with them all, but there were signs that there was, worry because, he was third, fourth choice at Bradford, wasn't really pacey, didn't play a lot of football. People were like, is it one of them kind of last minute panic buys? But you know what? He's actually provided some real leadership and vocality to that back line, and he's provided something physically that not many have provided at times this season. So, again, that back partnership really worked on Tuesday night, and I keep it for the next Tuesday, and Saturday as well. And I try and keep it as a pairing for the rest of the season at the minute. But yeah, Bolton are quite quick, which could be our downfall at the back if we're not careful, if we're too far forward again. If we get turned for pace, it could be 1-on-1. Shout out to the stat man who talked about Xander Clark as well. I had no idea he faced 20 shots in 7 clean sheets. That is good going for a keeper that was third choice at the current Scottish top Premiership leaders. Yeah, he's someone who's really come into his own. And I were a bit worried when Lola left for Crewe as to who we were going to get, but Xander Clark's really proven why he's been the main choice at the minute. So I'd like to think of it as confident, but we've not won in 4. It's going to be a tough one. My head's saying a narrow defeat. My heart is saying that someone either unexpectedly or expectedly, like Blackpool maybe on Saturday, could get a big scoreline from us. Because again, we've got a striker who has had the most shots on target out of anyone in the squad this season, but he's only scored a few goals. So I'm thinking, is this a game where the floodgates are going to open? We saw the stat stuff earlier with the one person up front in the 4-1-4-1 with Hanlon up front. I think he'll start anyway, and him kind of being the target man who controls the ball, first touch, brings it on himself, this, that, the other. And against the two centre-backs, if there's enough of a gap from Bolton and he gets it on target, again, he's got an opportunity to score, and it's up to the keeper for Bolton to see how good he is. If you start Talon Miller, I think you'd have a better chance at the minute. But
he's back in the US of A, so.
Oh, okay. So it'd be Sharman Lowe probably then.
No,
he's back
it's,
in Chelsea.
Oh,
We
yeah,
don't have any of the keepers.
Sharman Lowe.
It's been a whole story with our keepers this season. Yeah, we signed them both in the summer, and they both left in January.
So who's in goal at the minute for you guys?
It's Jack Bonham.
Jack Bonham, yeah. He was previously at Stoke, and he was at Gillingham, I think.
Yeah, ex-Brentford as well. Ex-Leeds United as well, because, of course, he dropped ex-Watford, because he dropped the famous goal against Leeds United that saw Cardiff get promoted with Hull City.
I didn't know that was him.
So bit of inconsistency about him for an experienced keeper. Head saying 2-1 Bolton, because I think we just haven't got it in us to win at the moment, and it's a tough one of the tougher games we've got left. But my heart is saying a 1-1 draw again, because we drew 1-1 on Tuesday night. If we can hold our own defensively and just scrape the one, could be a productive point, but we need the 3 points. So I'm actually going to go a bit more confident, and I'm going to go 2-1 Doncaster, and it'd be one of those results that we maybe don't expect on paper that maybe comes about that we needed the most, and it may be the result that cancels Bolton out the top 2.
Stop it. Right, Ben, we're past the hour mark. HR's going to be able to fit. Nice and quick. What's your prediction?
Yeah, you know what, Charles? I think you called it last time. I'm pretty sure you said that
I think so.
You can take a 1-1 draw, and yeah. I mean, as I said before, you should have beat us that game. We were terrible. It's one of our worst performances this season. So let's hope it's better than that on Tuesday. But yeah, we're in great form at the minute. And to be honest, at home against the weaker teams, we are very, very good, apart from the blip against Mansfield. But so I can't see. Yeah, Blackpool. But yeah, so ignore them. But yeah, I can't see anything other than a comfortable win, to be honest. We just need to get on the score sheet early on. I know that's not what we do very often, because we like leaving it until the 90th minute. But yeah, a nice, comfortable win would do as well. I'm going to go. I don't think it's going to be easy, but I'm going to go for 3-1.
Ooh. Oh, it's not going to be easy, but then gives quite a good start.
No, I think it's going to be a 3-1 where it's like, say we go 2-0 up, and then they pull them back to 2-1. Then it's a bit nervy for a bit.
It's going to be a switchy one.
And then we get
if McGrath does what he does, if he starts McGrath and he does what he did against Cardiff early in the second half, nearly straight from kickoff, where he opens the gap up for Dylan Lawler to run through. If you have something like that, then I think it could end up being a 3-1 if we're not careful.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's learned from that.
I'm going to bring up some predictions from the chat now on that note, Charles. Thank you. So Ian's gone with a Bolton 2-1 win. David's gone for a Bolton 3-0. Jordan's gone with a Bolton 3-1. Craig's also gone with a 3-0 Bolton. All scored in 90 plus minutes. Wouldn't be surprised.
You do score a lot of 90-minute goals this season.
Oh, yeah.
We do. Jake, neutral point of view. Whites are too much for Donny, but don't underestimate them. We won't. Very good side. You like making it difficult for yourselves too. We do. 2-1 Whites. Let's see what else is in there. I think that's it. So I think the consensus is that we think Bolton may win the Tuesday game, which we need to if we want to stay in those better playoff positions. So I think that's it from us. Thank you so much for joining us, Shal. It's been a pleasure as always. I won't be sad if we're not in the same league next year and we don't get to do another preview with you, but it has been a pleasure sharing the preview shows with you this season. So once again, thanks to B2B Workwear for sponsoring the show. Thank you to everybody who's joined. There's about 72 who's been online tonight, so thank you for that. And we'll see you post Rotherham. I was trying to remember who came first then. Post Rotherham. So bye-bye.